Hamas leader killed by explosives smuggled into a guesthouse in Tehran months ago. 7 Middle Eastern officials, including 2 Iranians and 1 American official, have confirmed that a bomb was secretly brought into the Tehran hotel where Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh was staying on Wednesday, killing him. 15 Middle Eastern officials testified that the guesthouse was the location of the device about 2 months ago. Neshat is a vast estate in an upmarket suburb of northern Tehran that includes the guesthouse. The Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps operate and maintain the compound. Mr. Haniyeh attended the inauguration of the president in Iran's capital. A team of 5 officials checked that he was safely inside his guesthouse room before remotely detonating the explosives, they added. The explosion also claimed the life of a bodyguard. Iranian sources briefed on the incident by the Revolutionary Guards said that the explosion rocked the structure, damaged windows, and partially collapsed an outside wall. The New York Times also saw this kind of damage in a building shot. The Middle Eastern officials claimed that Mr. Haniyeh, who had headed Hamas's political office in Qatar, had stayed at the hotel on multiple occasions on his visits to Tehran. In order to discuss sensitive information on the assassination, all of the officials talked on the condition of anonymity. Israeli forces were behind the murder, according to Iranian and Hamas authorities and other anonymous U.S. officials who spoke on Wednesday. Another surge of violence in the Middle East and a disruption of the current peace talks in Gaza were both hinted at by the assassination. During the ceasefire discussions, Mr. Haniyeh was a key negotiator. According to the 5 Middle Eastern officials, Israeli intelligence briefed the U.S. and other Western governments on the facts of the operation immediately after the killing, but Israel has not publicly admitted culpability. U.S. intelligence agencies were unaware of the conspiracy to assassinate anyone prior to Wednesday's statement by Secretary of State Antony J. Blinken. Following the execution, rumors quickly circulated that Israel had utilized a missile strike, possibly launched from a drone or plane, to murder Mr. Haniyeh, echoing their April missile attack on an Isfahan military base. How Israel could have managed to elude Iranian air defense systems once more to carry out such a daring raid on the capital was a question that arose from that missile scenario. Surprisingly, the assassins took advantage of a different type of Iranian defensive hole, a supposed weak spot in the security measures at a heavily guarded site that enabled the planting and subsequent concealment of a bomb, which ultimately went off after several weeks. Since Mr. Haniyeh and other top Hamas political officials reside in Qatar, Israel chose to carry out the killing outside of Qatar. The government of Qatar has been acting as a mediator in the Gaza ceasefire talks between Israel and Hamas. Images revealed broken windows and part of the compound wall crumbled after the fatal explosion early Wednesday, according to Iranian officials and pictures. Similar to what a missile would have done, it seemed to cause very little damage outside the building. The device detonated at approximately 2 a.m. local time, according to officials from the Middle East, including Iran. Upon hearing the massive boom, the startled building staff members hurried to determine its origin, which ultimately led them to the room where Mr. Haniyeh and his bodyguard were residing, according to the officials.